not a vampire, not an alien. I'm not the fucking mummy, I'm a goblin.
Yes! That goblin! That twisted goblin! For your reviews, my Goblin Nation, I got you covered. And this review is all about Superman! The 1987 movie. Yeah, we're going way back. Like way back, like really way back from the 1978. So where's in the 70s? This is the 70s biz, man. Welcome to the peaceful world. I mean, kind of like where we have hippies, where we have this kind of thing going on. What a joy! Anyway, so yes, this is from Batman. Don't have Superman added, and I feel like, you know, we're gonna stay in DC. So maybe I'm gonna do the Batman movies also from the very 90s kind of thing on some point. Because there are some Batman movies I liked a little bit more than Superman. Because this movie, my god! It's so long! So freaking long! Why wasn't a movie this long? At all? 2 hours and a half. 2 hours and a half, man! Jesus. Why are people complaining about the Man of Steel? Why are they complaining from Superman? Like the Man of Steel, the one that the latest movie we got for what's next? Not Scott Snyder. The Snyder kind of thing where we had the great Watch action. I like that version. They always say like they're half hour on Krypton kind of thing. This movie is doing a lot on Krypton too. It takes 20 minutes or 10 minutes. I'm not sure. It felt like long because it begins all with Krypton kind of thing, and Jor-El is like, you know what? This is kind of, and they're very like flowing stairs. They're very glowing kind of thing. They have this alien suits because in the 70s this was the old trend. Like aliens look like they have foley around themselves kind of thing. Very much very glowy when light shines on it. Things I really like, but I know. Aliens. This is how aliens looked in the 70s. Anyway, so they're all glowing. Jor-El is like, you know what, you cannot do this. This is not the way! This is not the way. This is not the way kind of thing. We have to kind of, well, actually, first they're seeing that Zod's wife, I don't know if the wife now, but she apparently did 3 at their own crimes. One really hated women, even man, from the normal man to the woman, to man to children. If the man, they're cats. She had a really obsession with it. The other was just a brute, and Brute's like, I'm gonna kill you. And then we got General Zod. Does he need introductions? No. But he wanted to. I was like, you can still join me. You can, Jor-El. We can join you together. You can be my right hand. Only next to me, you will be kind of thing. And Jor-El is like, nah, dude, nah. I'm not gonna go join you, nah. So he doesn't join. And then he's like, are you gonna be? I'm gonna make your legacy. Your legacy, you're gonna kneel before me. He never says kneel before Zod. I was like, he's gonna say it. Nope. That's only in the second movie that I will watch for you guys. I will watch the second movie. Also, General Zod is in it, so I expect a little bit better than this one. Anyway, so we got that going on, and that kind of thing. Then Jor-El gets some other stuff happens. They are like, okay, the planet's going to die. You cannot just scream it out. You cannot scream it out on kind of, or you're going to be dismissed kind of thing. You're going to be kind of, it's like this kind of thing. You have this contract. You cannot say anything. As a scientist, you cannot say anything to the public. Even if other planets is going to die, we don't believe it. It's just a little shift. It's just a little shift. Well, that shift ends up to be kind of thing. So then we get Superman being rocketed to another planet, like really another like the kind of thing. It's gonna be 3 years. So for the 3 years. We get actually lots of dialogue of Jor-El, like, this is how it's gonna go, this is how... I'm like, okay, Jesus Christ, this is long. And the whole ride is long, like, you hear all those kind of words and all those words, and now they keep on talking and talking and talking, and it's a long ride. You feel like it's 3 years. You feel like it's gonna be last 3 years before this gonna go. And it finally ends. I'm making it very much short, but everything is like way dragged out. Like, some stuff I feel like they could have done different, but we're not talking about that yet. I'm gonna talk about the stuff I feel like changed after I've done making this a little bit shorter than the movie is, because come on, 2.5 hours. That's a long movie. I know there have been longer, but those make sense. This is like everything. Maybe it's because I've seen Superman's origin over and over 100 million times by now. I don't want it, but I think Man of Steel did it just fine. Like, this is how we do it. This is how you're direct, even when it crashed. And then it's like, okay, we have also Smallville has maybe dragged it out longer because there's but that is all the point. They have villains, they have kind of thing. Here there is no villain till an hour in the movie. You don't know who the villain is an hour in. I was like, who is the villain in this movie? Is it gonna be Zod? Did I miss the kind of thing? And Zod is gonna be back in Superman 2 also? No. So we get then this whole kind of thing, like, should we keep him, should we not, like, where is he from? They're trying to get a new tire, the car almost falls on the thing, but then Superman saves. There's like a child like, I can do this. I know, I'm like, I was 1 year old, now I'm 3 years old, I don't know, but I can help, kind of thing. And it's like, oh, he's not from here, we can keep him. So they keep him, he grows up, but not totally. First we get him as a teenager, and as a teenager, he is like, okay, let's walk, kind of thing. There is lots more going on at Bully, that he cannot just get to Billy. He is in love with Lana Lang, and then the whole heart attack from Jonathan, his father, happens while he's feeling, I'll raise you, kind of thing. It's like, oh, no, not now. He already known since kind of thing that he had a heart problem, but now it finally gives up. After 18 years, it gives up. And then he's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm gonna go leave. Well, you know, my mother, that kind of need me right now. I mean, your mother kind of needs you when kind of the kind of funeral, and he's like, I need to go. She's like, okay, I can get it. So he goes finding the crystal. This whole long fucking, they could just give up him throwing it in normal. No, you see him journey. You see him going and walking to the end and walking, and then finally throwing it, and then slowly it builds up. It's like slowly it comes out. It's like, no, not like done. Like in Smallville, it was very much fast. Here's this whole light show, very slowly building the Kryptonian kind of thing, then slowly getting in, slowly. Everything happens so fucking slowly. And God, no wonder it's talking 2.5 hours long if everything happens so fucking slow. But either way, this kind of happens, kind of thing. Then here is, and again, they're telling him a whole story about kind of, I feel like either you did it from here and you told the story about Superman and how Krypton, you could have done so other ways of explaining where he came from. You could have done it here, you could have done it later when he explains to Lois where he's come from. He could have done it there. But either way, it's like there are so better ways to do this. But that's another kind of thing. Let's first finish the whole recap. If I don't do that, I'm gonna have another hour video. I'm gonna have an hour review. That's not a meeting, you know. We don't have to actually do that, you know. We're not gonna do that. So let's keep on going straight in the plot line, you know. So we had that kind of thing. Then he grows up. When he gets out of the fortress, here's Superman. Somehow he gets us to the only thing that I was like, okay, they're gonna explain that, right? No, they explain lots of things that don't need explaining right now. But they explain and don't explain the Superman suit. Still think it's weird, but for the 17s, you know, I get it. The pants company. I think he should grow out of that right now in this era. We don't dress like we're at the 80s or the 70s. We have like, you know, wrong parties and fault parties, however you want to call them, like dress like in the 90s, dress like it. Yeah, that's our parties. Like you want to dress like a Superman, all right, but now we have to go with our time. And now there are lesbians, there are gays, there are so many things that evolve the world. Some stuff devolve the world, but you know, certainly, you know, the virus that's going on, that devolving the world a little bit. Anyway, good for global warming, not good for the rest. Anyway, so then we have finally having Superman. Now we are introduced to Clark Kent. Well, already, you know, we're in this movie, and now we get introduced to. Well, we have like a little bit of Clark Kent, we a little bit of a kind of thing. Now we have introduced to Superman. We have all Superman origin. We have this kind of thing. Now we get introduced to Clark Kent. The silly. We don't know how he become. We don't even know like. Oh yeah, you have because also Jor-El is like you cannot interfere with human effect. You cannot interfere. Somehow he is like fuck it, I'm gonna interfere. I'm gonna become like Clark Kent, some silly guy. But I gotta say, through this movie, he really sells the silly kind of thing, the ridiculous, like always doing something wrong. I felt Smallville kind of version was like, you could see the different, and not that they could be the same person. You can see how he is kind of thing. Here, he has this ridiculous thing, he cannot open it, he kind of, it's like, you're doing everything wrong. It's amazing you're not fired in the 5 seconds you're in it. But somehow, he's like, yeah, he's the fastest typewriter. It's like, okay, does that kind of set somebody up? No, nobody? Okay then. Nobody sets it up. Nobody is kind of freaked out about it. Sure, why not, you know? Anyway, we're already 12 minutes in and didn't even get to anything of action. So then we got the love going like she is introducing. Lois seems to not be interesting at first, kind of thing. I'm like, okay. Then the first time they kind of need to save is when Lois goes in a helicopter. Also, like here's like the first time he reveals him as Superman to the world. The helicopter is falling, and Lois is screaming. But somehow Clark just comes out of the Daily Planet or kind of thing, like seeing everybody look up. Is like, huh? What's going on? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. Do you know what's going on? I don't know. And then it's like, oh, helicopter. It's like, do you not hear that? Yep, super hearing. You hear so many things, but somehow, right on your head, you didn't hear that. You could have done go to the side. But he runs like going to television, wanna go to like one of those booths to get like dressed in super. Like, nope, this one doesn't work. He goes to a carrier kind of thing, to one of those doors that have. He goes there, around, and then he goes like, Superman! And I'm like, dude, that guy just saw you. That guy saw you, but that doesn't mean anything. Okay. Like, he goes and saves the Superman. Lois falls out of it. Superman saves the kind of thing. Hey, you're alright now. And then the helicopter gets slowly down. They both kind of get victory. And then Lois like, who are you? And he's like, I'm just a friend. I'm a friend. And he flies away. Then it's like a kind of thing, and we want him to now he the whole night he starts saving people. This is like one of the beautiful things I like about this movie, how he saves everyone. How in this one night, of course, he just got into Metropolis the night before, I guess, the day before. So this is his first night. He goes to a kind of thing. He going from Smallville. Well, actually, he came from his Fortress of Solitude to here. Saves the day. No idea how he kind of finished school, that he become a daily reporter kind of thing. Somehow, maybe he got just finished, and that's why he also needs to move. I don't know. I'm just guessing. So he has trying to kind of thing. Perry White is like, okay, we need to know who Superman is. We need to know where he lives. kind of thing. And eventually it's like, okay, Lois gonna meet Superman on this kind of thing. He is there. Superman is there. It's like, oh, did I miss something? Kind of thing. I can go back later. It's like she's like, no. And then they're talking and talking, kind of thing, till like there's an interview. He's like, I don't know how fast I am. I am from Krypton. He seems like very like out of kind of thing. He says, oh, this is happening, and what Krypton is, because he already now knows everything about it and why. I felt like here is the moment you could have like explained the history of Krypton. You could have begin it when him arriving, it's kind of thing, and him explaining instead of showing all this front of it, and now he's explaining where he's from, how it's kind of even his weakness is apparently in it somehow. But and then he goes off with Lois, like, let's go kind of thing, right? So let's see how kind of thing. They have this romantic flying about, kind of going up and away kind of thing. They never say up and away if I remember correctly. But anyway, then he gets back. Clark is on the door somehow. It's like kind of thing. I mean, they're the same person, but you know. Anyway, so it's like I've been knocking all that kind of thing. Did you not hear me? It's like, no, I didn't. Anyway, so after that, I have to kind of think. So Lex Luthor has the papers. Like, oh my god, this guy kind of thing. I'm a genius. I'm an evil genius criminal. I'm like, wow, that's very forward. I thought he would be Lex Luthor trying to become the hero. And kind of, no, he's straight up saying he's a criminal. He's a master criminal kind of thing. He's straight up kind of thing. And he has even task mercenary kind of thing. He has task. He has kind of thing. That's files for apparently Lex Luthor. And is there. And then we get this dumb minion that's actually kind of funny. He's like, you need a book? I got you. Like, hey, I'm hanging you. Come on, man. Okay, it's like, oh, sorry, I thought they're like, no. And then it's like, we need a book, we need a kind of thing, we need to find kryptonite. And he starts having this master plan of a kind of thing. He has also this whole swimming pool in his kind of lair. This is a very evil lair kind of going on, that he has going on under the city. I don't know. Also, we don't know much about Lex Luthor, just that he is Lex Luthor. I don't think we need to know, but at some point I feel like, way back this movie came out, you kind of need to know who Lex Luthor is. I don't know. Now everybody knows Lex Luthor. If it's not from Smallville, it's because of the CW, small kind of thing. Well, yeah, the CW has done this kind of thing. You know Lex Luthor from movies, from the thing. You know him somewhere. Of course, this is way better Lex Luthor than the Lex Luthor we got, and I feel. So he is like, okay, I got two rackets. He invites Superman. Superman finds him. It's like kind of thing, and then he starts explaining his whole fucking evil plan, because he's a villain and a criminal, and he's not like the Lex Luthor we know, where he is like, I'm gonna be a busy like you. I'm never gonna tell you. Here he is like, I'm gonna tell you everything of my plan. This is how I'm gonna have this beautiful mountain, and this is kind of thing. I'm gonna have the sea a little bit more to the left. Like, then it comes to me, and there we're gonna find this hotel, this. I have this whole criminal plan going on. Very 70s criminal plan, like very simple, very kind of thing. Very like, what the fuck are you doing? Real estate kind of a plan. So he's this anyway, has two rockets, and Superman is like, I'm gonna stop you. But then he is like, get kryptonite. And then he's like, oh shit, kryptonite. My weakness that I got in the newspapers, I think. I was like, this is kind of, or he did it himself, but somehow it's like, there is something like, alright, there's been pieces here, he kind of got this. We don't know how much time there are between everything, but either way, kryptonite starts weakening him, and then it's like, you know what, that's not enough. Let's get you in the pool. Bloop. And he starts drowning in the pool while he has kryptonite. Makes sense. I mean, if you're gonna kill him, this is already killing him. But now that he's weaker, maybe he can also drown. So it makes sense that you would throw him in the pool. Well, Tess Morgan is like, my mom lives in that city. I don't want to be a villain. But my mom, man! My like, if you're gonna save me, if you promise me you're gonna save me, my mother, I'm gonna save. He's like, yes, I promise. So he shaves, kind of thing. He kisses him. It's like, and he's like, why did you kiss me? It's like, I have a feeling you would not let me after this. Well, one, yes. Two, this is very abusive, your power kind of thing, and very like not good, very illegal to do that. Well, it's just a case, so maybe not that illegal, but still not a good idea. But either way, he's like, now stand back, and he goes through the thing, gets the rocket somewhere else, like in space. The other rocket, well, kind of hit. Everything exploded, everything starts falling. This is where Superman starts saving things. Earthquakes happening. Jimmy is like the only one that's like, oh, gonna make photos. The whole bridge starts to collapse, destroying. The water starts streaming out of the dam, and I'm like, dude, the moment this starts cracking, you should run, man! Run for your fucking life! No, he's like, I'm gonna trying to make a picture here. While that's going on, Superman starts saving the rocks, seeing that the rocks don't slide, kind of thing. Saving others, seeing that the train kind of like, train over him, and he kind of things does this, all of that. Eventually, he goes to save Jimmy, then all the water kind of thing. Then while that's going on, Lois is kind of like, her car breaks down just where the rocks are sliding and making her in her car fall in a crack. All the fucking things, the rock starts growing in. She starts dying. Superman doesn't hear it yet till her heart starts kind of like, I did everything. I did. Oh shit, Lois goes to thing. Too late. Lois is dead. I'm like, this is a cool moment. This is a cool learning moment of you cannot save everybody. You cannot, even if it's your loved ones, you cannot save everybody. This is a lonely road. No, he's gonna save everyone. They're like, no! He gets a Jor-El's voice that, yeah, blah blah, you cannot do this, you cannot interfere. And he turns back time-ish. I mean, he turns back the Earth kind of thing. Apparently the Earth only is the only thing that gets turned back because the rockets are gone. Rockets are gone. The Earth's natural pole is the only thing that's apparently. I was like, oh, maybe he's going back in time, but then he should have done everything again, or at least stop the rockets on some point. No, apparently only the Earth kind of turned back. The only kind of thing, the people on it turned back. Everything but the rockets. So the rockets disappeared in thin air somehow, some way. But either way, so Lois is safe. He gets a Lex Luthor to, and not Tess Morgan, but a minion to jail. It's like, here are they? They're kind of villains. Like, I am Lex Luthor, the criminal mastermind. He literally says that on the ground. That's something Lex Luthor would never say, but you know, 70s. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of the movie. Trying to make it so short as good. I feel like you could have done different stuff like. I like the ending kind of thing, Sure, the time back seems like you could have just have him go so. If you really wanted them to go fast, just go through time, go to a time point, see him destroying the kind of things before they were done, and have then like Superman 2, Kevin is other kind of thing, or him becoming one with the other, or this Superman just going off somewhere else, kind of thing. I think you could have done more if he just goes through time and stops us, or becomes one with his other self, like this mind kind of fuck going on, like, yep. He goes back, he's in his other body, kind of thing. He stops Lex before he does the kryptonite. And knocks him out. It's like, ha! I know there was kryptonite there now because I went back in time. He stops it, everything go great. No, it's just that he stops the kind of things, and Lois is alright. And I feel like you also could change that. You also could have its origin. I felt it was not all needed. He could have just said his origin. You begin with Clark Kent as he grown up. Then him explaining his father died on a young age. Then you have this flashback of his father dying, his heart attack, him with his hands, kind of thing. like should begin with Krypt, and then him explaining would be in his Fortress of Solitude, where he would explain like what happened, the kind of thing. I think you have way too much time on Krypton if you really wanted to go into depth of kind of thing of how he is, because it was very long. I feel like some things were way dragged out and you could have done better. I'm not gonna go all into my version of Superman. I think I do that lots of times otherwise. And we're gonna be here a whole hour if I'm gonna go into my Superman. It would not be so long as Superman the movie, but I feel like the ending were some pieces I really liked, some pieces I was like, oh my god, is this still going? But in general, it's like a fine movie. I give it a 6 out of 10. I saw the 7 words. I felt like I still don't like Superman that much, this original version. I like the Man of Steel Superman. That's my, well, not my favorite, but he is on top of the thing. This Superman felt like a little bit short on some points. I felt like there were some points, but when he was really Superman, saving everybody was a really good moment. I really liked. The time thing, going back in time, that doesn't make any sense at all. It's like, where are the rockets? Should you not stop the rockets if this was back in time? Are you only doing the planet? Should people then not still be dead if you're only the planet? So, like, that time travel really didn't make any sense at all. Like, nothing made that sense in that kind of thing. I can imagine, sure, he can be that fast. Sure, let's be him so faster than anything. Alright, I can handle that. But the rest, I don't. Anyway, so yeah. Liked it, but not loved it. Like, it was in 6 out of 10. It was not overkill bad, but I still think there are some good moments in a bad movie. This is what kind of thing. It's not trash. I don't gonna throw it in the Phantom Zone. It's not so bad as Child played the reboot. I feel this is my personal opinion. You know, you could be wrong. You could love it more than Blackside. Maybe you love Blackside more, because I have seen some people, one person kind of thing that doesn't like that. So I'm like, okay, I liked it. I would like Blackside more than this movie, but you could be like, I like this movie more. Oh, your opinions are very appreciated. Also, we're almost a half hour in, so I'm gonna end it here. Superman the movie, 6 out of 10. Not great, but not the worst of all. It's still 6.5. Let's go a little bit on 6.5. It's just like the kind of thing. I feel like it's not a worst movie, but it's also not the baddest. It was way too long. I feel like that was the whole kind of thing. Way too long movie, man! This is the Twisted Goblin's opinion about this. I finally watched it because I never watched this Superman movie. I really, it was only by the time of Smallville that I got into. So like, I always thought Superman was stupid, very overpowered. There was nothing good about him. I don't know, he was way too good for somebody, that's kind of thing. But since Smallville, I started getting more appreciation for him. Man of Steel, I felt like was a really great one-off movie that was really good. After that, I was a little bit down, but I liked that version. I liked the Supergirl, Superman's version, and at some point I also will watch the original Supergirl movie somehow, some way. But first, I'm gonna watch a lot more, and maybe some other movies before I watch Superman 2, because I get my fill now a little bit of Superman movies. Anyway, what's your thoughts about Superman the movie? Sorry that it took a half hour to review this, but you know, it's a 2.5-hour movie. It's hard to keep the whole plot going on. Seeing that I got all the cuts that are important for me to tell you guys about this movie. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the whole fucking review of Superman the movie. Let me know your opinion about this piece of Superman. Do you guys like it? Do you guys were there when it came out? I mean, I'm not judging how old you are, you know. If you're that old, let me know your opinion, where you were. What are you kind of think? What was the excitement you had when this movie came out? Let me all know your opinions down below. And I hope to see you guys in my next videos. Goodbye.
And then the days got worse and worse, and now you see I've gone completely out of my mind.